Hey everyone, got a programming exam coming up? Then there's one topic you absolutely have to know inside and out. Loops. They're the workhorses of pretty much all code, and really getting them down is a massive step toward acing your exam. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down so you can walk into that test and handle any loop question they throw at you. Let's get into it. So, let me just ask you this. Have you ever been writing code and realized you need to do the exact same task like over and over and over again? It's a super common problem in programming, right? I mean, imagine your professor says, okay, print welcome to Java 100 times. Sure, you could just copy and paste that print line 100 times, but man, that's not just tedious. It's a total recipe for mistakes and just, well, really bad coding. And wow, yeah, this picture says it all, doesn't it? Just look at that wall of code. Can you imagine trying to find a typo in there? Or what if you needed to change the message? You'd have to edit 100 different lines? There has got to be a better way. So, the solution to all this madness is, of course, the loop. And the first tool we're going to pull out of our toolbox is the while loop. It's really the most basic way to handle repetition, and understanding it is absolutely key to writing clean, smart code. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? We literally went from 100 lines of messy code down to just 4. This, right here, is the power of a loop. You're writing way less code to do way more work, and that's the kind of smart thinking that gets you top marks on an exam. So how does this magic actually work? Well, it all comes down to this little diamond shape you see in the flowchart. That's the condition. The loop takes a look at that condition. If it's true, it runs the code inside the loop body. Then it zips right back to the top to check the condition again. If the condition is false, it just skips the body and moves on. And here's a big one. Exam alert. That condition has a fancy name, the loop continuation condition. You're probably going to want to remember that one. Okay, to really nail this stuff for your exam, you have to learn how to trace a loop. All that means is following the code step by step, just like the computer does. It's a crucial skill. So come on, let's trace this simple while loop together. All right, first things first. Before the loop even kicks off, we have to set up our counter. So here, a variable we're calling count gets created, and we give it a starting value of 0. Think of it as our starting line. Okay, now we're at the front door of the loop. The computer looks at that loop continuation condition and asks itself, is the current value of count, which is 0, less than 2? And the answer is, yes, of course it is. That's true. So we get the green light to go inside the loop. And since the light was green, we go inside. The first line of code in the loop body runs, and the computer prints "Welcome to Java" on the screen. Boom, that's our first time through. Now, this next line, it is so important. Seriously, we have to update our counter. The count plus plus line adds 1 to the value of count. So in the computer's memory, count isn't 0 anymore, it's now 1. If we forgot this step, the loop would just run forever. All right, we've hit the bottom of the loop body. So what happens now? We go right back up to the top to check that condition all over again. Is our new value of count, which is 1, less than 2? Yep, it is. The condition is still true, so we're going in for another round. And because the condition was true again, we enter the body for a second time. That print statement runs, and "Welcome to Java" pops up on the screen again. That's 2 times now. And yep, you guessed it. Just like last time, we hit that update statement. Count plus plus does its thing, and the value of count ticks up from 1 to 2. So let's hold that new number, 2, in our heads for the next check. Okay, here we go. Back to the top. This is the moment of truth. The computer asks, is count, which is now 2, less than 2? And for the very first time, the answer is no. 2 is not less than 2. The condition is finally false. And bam, because that condition was false, the program says, nope, not going in there again, and it breaks out of the loop completely. It just skips right over the loop's body and moves on to whatever code comes next. And that's it. We did it. We've traced a loop from start to finish. So that's the while loop. Pretty powerful, right? But what if you already know exactly how many times you need to repeat something? Well, for those cases, there's an even more streamlined tool for the job, the for loop. And this is what's so cool about the for loop. It puts all 3 of those key parts we talked about, the initialization, the condition, and the update, all together on one single tidy line. It's super clean and makes it really obvious what the loop is doing. Okay, so here's the million-dollar question for your exam. When do you use a while loop versus a for loop? Just think of it like this. You use a while loop when you're not sure how long you'll be looping, like, say, waiting for a user to type quit. You use a for loop when you know exactly how many times you need to go, like counting from 1 to 100. The for loop is your go-to counting loop. All right, let's wrap this all up with a few pro tips. These are some key differences and things to watch out for that will definitely give you an edge on your exam. Now, you might see this guy on your exam too, the do while loop. The one key thing you absolutely need to remember about it is this: its body always runs at least one time. Why? Because it checks the condition at the end of the loop, not at the beginning like the others. It's perfect for when you need to do something first and then decide if you should do it again. Okay, listen up. Our final exam alert. This is a classic trick question, a real pitfall, so you're going to want to catch this. Here it is. Never use decimal numbers, floating point values, for an exact equals check in a loop condition. It's a huge trap. See, computers can be a little imprecise with how they store decimals. So what looks like 1.0 to you might actually be stored as something like 0.9999. And because of that tiny difference, your condition will fail and your loop could just run forever. So if you see that on an exam, a little alarm bell should go off in your head. And there you have it. That's your boot camp for mastering loops and acing those exam questions. We've hit while loops, for loops, and some major traps to watch out for. You're in great shape. But we've really only just scratched the surface. What do you think happens when you get really wild and put a loop inside another loop? Well, that's a story for next time. Thanks for watching, and seriously, good luck on that exam.